Welcome to today's 5 Good Minutes on the 10 Commandments. Today we'll be considering the second commandment with Emily DeAngelo.
Before we consider what is forbidden by God in the second commandment, let's read it from Exodus 20, verses 4 to 6. You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third and to the fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing steadfast love to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. Basically, the second commandment teaches us to worship God in a proper manner and to avoid idolatry when we worship the one true God. God is recognized and honored in the first commandment, which says, you shall have no other gods before me. So the second commandment forbids God's people from the worshiping of God by images or any other way not appointed in his word. Any way of worship outside of God's way is idolatry, and anything that gets in our way of worshiping God is an idol. I see idol worship as progressive in the second commandment. Do not make, do not bow down, do not serve. If we make it and bow down to it, we are trying to serve it. Though man-made objects of worship, or idols of the mind for that matter, will never satisfy or serve us well. God is clearly forbidding the worship of anything that is less than God, specifically through created figures and images, because, well, he cares about who we serve. And any version of God is less than God, and it is not to be elevated nor to be worshiped. I think about the golden calf that Aaron crafted from the Egyptian gold collected by the Israelites. And he made this while his brother Moses was receiving the 10 Commandments from God. And when Aaron conceives of an image of Yahweh, he produces a golden calf and proclaims a feast day to Yahweh with this image as the centerpiece to their celebration and worship. You can read about this in Exodus chapter 32. So this image lies about who God truly is. And Jen Wilkin talks about this in her book about the 10 Commandments. I highly recommend it. It's called 10 Words to Live By. And Jen Wilkin describes the enormity of the lie the golden calf tells with these words. It is small, but God is immense. It is inanimate, but God is spirit. It is location bound, but God is everywhere, fully present. It is created, but God is uncreated. It is new, but God is eternal. It is impotent, but God is omnipotent. It is destructible, but God is indestructible. It is of minor value, but God is of infinite value. It is blind and mute, but God sees, hears, and speaks. This image is no Yahweh. It is a lie. I agree. Anything less than God is a lie. It's a counterfeit, and we are not to bow down to it. So, if idolatry is forbidden in the second commandment, what is permissible? Worshiping the one true God is permissible, and, well, it's beneficial for us. He tells us to not set our minds and our hearts on anything less than the best. And the second commandment says it will go well for us to worship God and obey his commandments because he will give us his steadfast love, his favor, his affection. And in order to focus our attention on the one who is worthy of our worship, I think we have to consider what objects or images get in our way of pure worship of God. Maybe it's the object of the almighty dollar. Maybe it's the image of a perfect body. Maybe it's a consuming compulsion to succeed with my job or my family or both. Well, none of these idols are worthy of our worship. After we've considered what our own idols are, we confess and repent and turn back to God. The psalmist invites us in Psalm 95:6 to come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. And this is exactly what the second commandment is inviting us to do. Worship the Lord our Maker.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check out all our content and podcasts on Orchard Hill Plus. You can find that and so much more on our website or the Orchard Hill app.